Do you feel the
all the other historic agreements that she has mentioned in her statement and which we hope are still to come.
Secretary Truss.
Well, after the Honourable Lady's congratulations to me for securing this important deal, it could be a bit churlish for me to point out that she didn't vote for the original EU-Japan deal. So none of the original benefits that she's talking about would have actually come into existence if we'd followed the steer of the Labour Party at the time. But the deal we have secured goes significantly beyond EU-Japan in areas that are important for the United Kingdom, whether that's the data and digital chapter, which in some cases goes beyond CPTPP and sets new precedents for a high-quality deal, whether it's business mobility or financial services or geographical indicators or rules of origin. There are advances in all parts of the negotiation, benefiting all parts of the UK and all parts of business. The Honourable Lady asked about the impact assessment. No doubt she has read the scoping study, which shows there's a 15 billion increase in trade under this deal. But of course, we will conduct another impact assessment following the finalisation of details of this deal, which we will indeed publish. It will also cover the environmental impact, the social impact and the impact on agriculture of the deal. The Honourable Gentleman is asking from a sedentary position when we will publish it, and the answer is once we have completed the full legal scrub of the documents and signed the agreement. The Honourable Lady asked me about agriculture, and again I'm pleased to hear that she shares my strong interest in improving exports of great British products around the world. The vast majority of agricultural products, such as beef and pork, are not subject to tariff rate quotas, and we have secured the full liberalisation of those products under this agreement, which is a tremendous boost for British farmers. Now, there are a limited number of areas where there are tariff rate quotas, and that represents about £1 million worth of business versus just over £150 million for the remainder of agriculture. But in those areas, we have fought hard to make sure British exporters can continue to get the benefit of exports into the Japanese market at lower tariff rates, including but not limited to Stilton. We've also secured an agreement on malt barley, and we are the second largest exporter of malt into Japan. So this is a significant benefit for British farmers. We've also succeeded in getting more liberal rules of origin on many food and drink products, which will mean that more producers are able to export into Japan tariff-free. Now, as the Honourable Lady knows, under the Constitutional Reform and Governance Act, Parliament can refuse to ratify trade deals. Parliament has the power that other parliaments have. If there is not a majority in this House for this trade deal, which I don't think will be true because it sounds like the Honourable Lady has changed her mind since she voted against the Japan deal last time, but if there is not a majority in Parliament, this deal will simply not be ratified. The Honourable Lady asked me all kinds of questions about the details of this agreement, and obviously, as we first of all share it with the International Trade Committee and then with Parliament, she will be able to see the details, but I can assure her that the subsidies chapter is the standard kind of chapter you get in an FTA. It is vastly different from what the EU are trying to do with us, which is essentially impose the EU state aid regime in Britain. And as David Frost has made clear, that is simply not acceptable. And the Honourable Lady tries to compare and contrast the EU and Japan. We can have both deals. We are global Britain. We want to have deals with CPTPP, with the United States, with the EU, with Canada. And I believe that's absolutely possible. But I'm afraid to say the Honourable Lady still seems to want to relitigate the EU referendum. It's 2016. The people of Britain decided it's time for her to get behind it.
Scott Mann.
Thank you, Ms